When you were much younger and still lacking in experience, I am sure you also tended to romanticize about love. You know, even with early Christianity, we have the tendency to romanticize, thinking that they always loved one another. Well, they did, but in the midst of their effort to love one another, every now and then they got into conflict with each other. And today's first reading tells us how they resolved the first conflicts in the community as part of the whole dynamics of loving one another. Just try entering the expression "fall in love" lyrics on the Google search engine, and you'll be surprised how many songs have been composed about falling in love. And usually people associate falling in love with a romantic feeling, a magical moment, a many-splendored thing. And that's precisely where the problem lies. When we associate love with a feeling that is supposed to go with it. Well, some people begin to doubt if the love has gone away when they no longer feel the same way they used to. Kaya nga, may mga kantang tipong ganito ang sinasabi, "You don't bring me flowers anymore." Or even songs that regret having fallen in love. You know, like that song that says, "I'll never fall in love again." The danger about equating love with feeling is sometimes people begin to doubt if they have fallen out of love, as if love were a trap or a hole that you fall into. Well, today, Jesus is reminding us that what truly matters is not falling in love, but remaining in love. Remaining in love. Kasi falling is associated with feelings, and feelings are just one aspect of loving. And the feelings, you know, they come and go and are often conditioned by many factors. They can even be replaced by other feelings. In fact, it might not be love if you need to feel it all the time. I remember many years ago how in the seminary, a young seminarian told me bluntly that sasama lang daw siya sa community prayers pagramdam niya of when he feels like it. Pag may gana, kumbaga. Kasi daw, nagpapakatotoo lang naman siya sa sarili niya. He just wanted to be true to himself. And so, sabi ko sa kanya, think about this. Do you think your mother woke up in the middle of the night to change your diaper when you were still a baby because she felt like it? Or do you think your father went to work each day because he felt like it? I tell you, there will be more days when you don't feel like it than days when you do. But you do what you have to do anyway. Why? Because you have made an act of the will. Love becomes stronger and more mature when it operates on the level of the will and not just on the level of emotions. it becomes a commitment. It is what gives us the staying power in what we do. Commitment. And so, the most important commandment of Jesus to us is not just love one another. I don't know why, whenever I ask the question, what is the commandment of Jesus? They say, oh, he says we should love one another. That is only half correct. Hindi pa siya tapos. Jesus said, love one another as I have loved you. Namely, that we should learn to love like Christ, or to love with the love of Christ. And the love of Christ is for us a revelation of the redeeming, the unconditional love of God. A love that makes us ready even to give up everything, perhaps even our lives, for the beloved. In Colossians chapter 3, St. Paul has a vocabulary for it. He calls it a dressing up spiritually. If we want to attain our dignity as children of God, he says, we must learn to clothe ourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, patience, and forgiveness. And all of these have to do with the secret of remaining in love. I like that, you know. Sometimes you have to challenge yourself to describe love without having to use the word love. And the most important sign of love for St. Paul is gratitude, thankfulness. Never get tired of saying thank you for each other, or saying thank you to God for the grace of each other. Kasi life is grace. Think about this. What did we have with us anyway when we were born? Wala. Nothing. Not even a coin in our pockets. We did not even have pockets yet because we were born naked. We grew up because we were fed, dressed up, educated, cared for, not because we deserved it, or not because we were entitled to it, but because we were loved. It is pure grace, and we will not be asked to pay for it, because we have been loved generously. We will also learn to love generously. It is all that matters. Ang maturuan tayo na magmahal. Dahil hindi pwedeng magpakataong hindi natututong magmahal ang tao. Maybe this is why God allowed COVID-19 to infect the world. To give us an opportunity to reset our priorities in life, which tend to get confused or mixed up every now and then. I know all of us are hoping that we can get back to normal as soon as possible. Sigurado ko narinig niyo na ako on many occasions saying that maybe the point is not just to return to what we thought was normal when this pandemic is over. Actually, we can make things better. Di ba yun yung sinasabi ng isang kanta? In my younger years, I remember hearing that song. It didn't make much sense to me. But now it does. Sabi nung kanta, hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. It is what we're being called to do now. Not to go back to our old ways, but to make things better. And this song also says, don't you know that it's a fool who plays it cool by making the world a little colder? No. We can make things better. This is the Spirit that alone can give us a sense of stability. It can give us stability to our fragile lives. A hopeful spirit. One that makes us look back, not with regret, but with a smile on our faces as we look ahead. And thank God for giving us always the opportunity to love, to be committed, and to make things better.